God, I don't actually know. It's like more than encourage. We need to say, hey,
we need to support them.
Yes, if you want to see change, then please let's be that too. So we need people in office that are like.
Well, we need a vote. We need or if you don't know, if there's nobody in like your place that you think is the right person, then why don't you run? Like as I think we need to see more women of color in different places.
I don't know any shit. Like, to me, it would all be common sense.
Literally, none of them know anything. They just know how to fill their pockets and talk to their fucking people. Like, that bullshit about draining the swamp was just a bunch of bullshit. Yeah. And it's still just full of shit. I'm tired. I'm so tired. And nothing has changed. And it feels like it's going to change until...
Sometimes it feels like a drop of water in a bucket.
Well, the thing is, we've been talking about this for ages. People of color have been talking about change for fucking ever. And all we need is for somebody to listen who's in power and sympathetic.
Right.
And who can actually have... Because they have the power to change things. Right. They being the white
They need
man.
to listen with open minds because we're not trying to change you. You can go ahead and continue believing whatever you want. But, at the same time, let other people also be themselves.
Well, help us out, man. Like, we're fucking hungry. We're fucking tired. And we're being exploited. And you don't fucking care. Where are your Christian values?
Yeah, I never...
Use them!
In fact, many of Jesus's followers were prostitutes and lepers and people that were cast aside. And I'm like, you forgot that, didn't you? Like,
they pick and choose what they like, girl.
Right, and it's not fair. Because I'm like, I'm pretty sure if Jesus were to be among you today, you would probably... say go back to your country. Like,
he's on the no-fly list.
Seriously, though. Like,
sir, we're gonna have to check that bag.
Right. And then, it's just so backwards and confusing. And so I didn't really have the right words to tell her, I'm sorry, sister of mine. I know you want to be a teacher, but please go be one and be one of those people that we need to hopefully, be a catalyst for change in the future. You don't know your students, you may inspire them to say, hey, look at that. There's a teacher. She looks like me. She's Mexican. I can do this. And so, inspire somebody. There's a lot of people at my place of work that say, thank you for being a person of color in a leadership position, because then that makes them feel like they can do it. And I'm like, so swear to God, anyone can do that job. But it is empowering. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad to do that. Sometimes.
I think it's good to try to, be a role model. And that's something that I've been missing a lot as a woman of color. I've looked for it a lot, and I've fallen short, especially because of where I'm at. The place has made it very difficult for me to find those women that can kind of show me the way.
I wouldn't blame yourself, though. I mean, we're always a product of our surroundings. And if you've never seen you anywhere, then how are you going to be inspired? Right. And I didn't know that. I swear to you, I didn't know literally until I watched Black Panther. And I'm like, wow. Wait a minute. I was actually missing this. Seeing women that I can actually identify with, or,
relate to something, yes. and feel empowered and not feel
positive. For once, it's not a movie strictly with, Black people in the ghetto. I'm sorry to say that, but most of the time it's a negative thing.
That's what Hollywood does,
right.
Though. Or they put you in the kitchen, or they put you on the lawn. They make you clean. They make you cook.
Or they make the Black person a project. Good for them for rising above.
It's always the white savior, right?
Yes.
There's a white savior that's definitely a trope in Hollywood film.
There's a quote that. Well, it was an interview, really, with, the leading girl from A Wrinkle in Time, and fuck all the haters for that movie. Fuck all of you, okay?
We'll talk about that later,
I know. But this is relevant to our topic. But she spoke to the director, Ava, who is also a woman of color.
Right. Oh.
And then she said, thank you for not casting me as the best friend. And I was like, there you go. That's right there. Yes, because she was able to stand on her own and be the leading girl. And it was like, dang, you know what? I 100% agree because, you know, when I first read Harry Potter, I thought she looked like me until I saw a white girl doing it. And
Hermione Granger could have been a woman of color.
She is actually olive-skinned, bushy-haired. Nobody knows. She is just as racially ambiguous as me, but like,
right.
You know.
Casting.
Yeah.
Casting is just a fucked up thing that I don't know who the fuck is doing the casting, but they need to get a new job.
Well, you know, Black Panther shattered all the rules that said that if you have an all-black cast,
you're not making any money.
Excuse me.
What's that? Is it her? What is that? Oh, I think Titanic's losing the numbers. Oh, shipwrecked.
Oh, there comes the iceberg shaped like a Black Panther.
It only took Marvel 18 films to figure it out.
I never liked superhero movies because I couldn't identify with it. I'm like, the fuck's going on with this shit? You're eating rocks and turning into Superman? Usually in my neighborhood, if you're eating rocks, you're smoking crack. So
wait, what? Is that how Superman?
Kryptoniters. Oh, wait, that kills them. But okay, so you know
that
what?
That kills everyone, girl. That crack is fucked up. Crack is whack. Crack is whack.
Like the dude that, my God, one of the dudes that was like supposedly Mr. Right, and for my mom, and he ended up being the second coming of Jesus, meaning he was too cracked up to figure out what he was. But yeah, so
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. We'll just leave it at that.
Have a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Be friendly to your neighbor.
Be friendly. Be understanding of all sides, okay?
My side.
Well, even if it's difficult,
Mine.
If you enjoyed this episode, you can help us out by subscribing on your podcast app and leaving a rating or review. Find Hey Neighbor on Facebook or on Twitter at HeyNeighborPod. Feel free to leave us feedback or conversation ideas. You can also email us at heyneighborpodcast@gmail.com. Bye, neighbors.